You're on.
Use the tripod?
Okay. No, it's fine.
Alright, here's my Gravekeeper deck that I went undefeated with at Regionals at Humble.
Ooh.
Yeah. 3 Spies. 3 Recruiters. 3 Commandants. 2 Descendants. 1 Assailant. And 1 Gale.
How come?
Actually, I ended up cutting a 3rd Descendant for this 1 Gale. It adds a lot of options to the deck. It's a 1-turn out to a lot of big beaters. It functions like another Assailant, except if you don't need Necrovalley in the field. You can go into Arcanite, or my favorite play is syncing with Recruiter into a Brio. And with Recruiter, you get an extra card to hand to, feel this effect. And if you have Stele, you can get another 2 cards. And if it sets up Stele, you can get another 2 cards to your hand, so you can bounce more stuff. 3 Necrovalleys. 2 Torrential Tributes. 2 Steles. 2 Mystical Space Typhoon. 3 Pot of Duality. Darkhold. And Book of Moon. 1 for Traps. 2 Warnings. 2 Deep Prisons. 1 Bottomless. 1 Torrential. Mirror Force. Compulse. Mind Crush. Royal Oppression. Magic Drain. Solemn Judgment. And 1 Sentences.
Okay, so explain like a few card picks and stuff like that.
Wasn't MVP?
Magic Drain was one. I don't know. I just think it's really good in a lot of matchups. With Necrovalley out, a lot of cards become dead, so opponents will tend to bluff set. And when they do draw something that is useful, I can Magic Drain it, and they'll have extra spell cards set. So it'll negate it, or maybe it will burn like another important spell card from their hand that they need to go off. Mind Crush. This card is really good. It works very well with Torrential Tribute, and I actually think it's a really good choice in the main deck for any deck in the meta right now. Actually, with all the searching that goes on with Pot of Duality or just any type of recruiter. The 1 Compulse, it's another single card out. It has a similar function to Gale, I guess, and also it's like an RD prison that's not attack reactive. You can use it whenever. And yeah, everything else is pretty much standard. Oh, and
Extra deck and the other decks.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. 1 Trishula. Yes, this deck can get to Trishula. It's rather inefficient, but it's just that off chance that you can get a Gale and 2 Recruiters, or if you side, you can go flip Spy, bring out another level 4 Gravekeeper, and summon Effect Veiler. Android, Knight, Armed Wing, actually really good right now. This deck lacks big beaters, so when you need to push for some extra damage, it's always nice. Armed Wing, Black Rose, Ancient Fairy, Stardust, Scrap, Colossal, 2 Fortress Dragons, Arcanite, Catastor, and Brio.
Ooh.
Yeah, not much use out of the extra deck, except out of Brio. That actually was pretty clutch. For my side deck, 1 Rug, 1 Dyna, 2 Cyber Dragons, 2 Smashings, 2 Dusts, 1 Kinetic, the 2nd Bottomless, 2 Effect Veilers, 1 Chain D, 1 Revelry, 1 Double. I usually go with 1 of for my side deck choices, just because the deck functions pretty well on its own with the Gravekeeper engine, and you could just swap out the spells or traps and just have random single copies of whatever. And if you draw it, then it's great, it works, but you don't need it to win. Because a lot of times, like, second copies of cards will be dead, like 2 Rivalries. Once you draw 1, the second one is dead. I mean, when you get that first one, you have it up, you can stall for however long you need to. Yeah, same thing with Chain Disappearance. Like you just if you have that one, it slows them down a lot, and having a second one really isn't that important. And if you don't draw it, then whatever. You have plenty of other stuff.
Did you push it?
Yeah, what was your MVP card of the tournament?
MVP card.
Or cards.
Cards. Actually, my MVP would probably be Gale. Like whenever you draw him, it's great. It's a one card out to anything, and once you lose control of the game, having that Gale in hand just gives you that extra pushback. Like after they true nade, you can and they go into a synchro, you can Gale and then set up again. It's great.
And Gale's pretty good.
Yeah.
Was there anything that you didn't like, or that you could have possibly taken out if you had to redo everything again?
Actually, as good as World Tribute is, I'd probably actually not main those anymore. And
Really?
yeah, there were a lot of times where I would draw it late and it would not be that useful. I mean, I would just play, just get information of my opponent's hand, but that's mainly it. I'd much rather have something more immediate, like an Effect Veiler or actually Gravekeeper's Guard, which I think is really, really good. A lot of times I wished I had one, because my Gale would be burned and Guard would be like another one card out to big pushes.
And no one reads it either.
Yeah, it's always Spy or Recruiter. So like when they make the big push, you just set that guy and yeah, you're good to go.
Right. So
Congrats on the win.
yeah, congrats on first place.
Cool.
It's pretty
Thanks.
cool. Alright guys, Team SPANK out.